Hello, Cancer. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Cancer is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Cancer, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. 10 of Pentacles. Wow, this is your best life. This is your pets, your plants, your people, okay? As the first card here, I feel like you're somebody who is very protective over your pets, your plants, and your people, okay? This isn't so much about material wealth or about money or finances. It's about the deeper meanings, the deeper connections of life. It's about what you really, truly value, okay? Get out a sheet of paper, get out a pencil. Make a top 10 list of all the things that you value in life, okay? I don't think, your money, your jewelry, your car, your house, maybe the house. I don't think those are going to be the top 3 or 4, okay? I think we need security. We need safety. Maybe your car and your house are going to be pretty far up there because you need those, Those are things that are going to help you to do the things in life that you want to do. I feel like wealth means a lot more to you than just that. So maybe you share with me, what is your top 10 list? Or just give me, give me the top 3. Make it easy for you. Give me your top 3 most valuable aspects of your life. Those are the things that you're really protecting right now. Okay? I think that you're somebody who knows what they want. I think you're somebody with a clear vision of what the good life means, okay, of what wealth really means. I feel like you're already a very wealthy person. You're operating from a position, a starting point, right, of abundance. You have to have gold in order to make gold. You have to be abundant if you're going to sort of attract abundance. Okay. Let's put this card into a little bit of context. Let's see what's going on in your life where this is our starting sort of energy, okay? We've got a 7 of Swords, the Ace of Cups, 4 of Swords, and a Knight of Cups, your superpower card, or one of them. This is the card that represents the Cancer energy in action, okay? And a 2 of Cups, yes. So I feel like you're defending something or someone against some kind of criticism, okay? I feel like you're very protective. You're standing up for a loved one here, for maybe it's for your home or for things that you value. Maybe you're defending your pets or your plants, right? Or you're kind of like, you're trying to protect those things in life, people, places, things that you consider to be of the top value for you. Okay? They are worth protecting. Yeah. Over here we have 6 of Pentacles, we have the Devil card, we have a 9 of Cups, and we have a 9 of Swords. Okay? A 9 of Swords here. You are protecting without smothering. You are loving, right? Loving without clinging to something. Because I think the kind of worst thing here is that you'll be separated from those things that you really love, from your pets, your plants, your people. You want to have the unity, you want to have more of those things, not less. So the 9 of Swords and the 9 of Cups is kind of giving us the contrast. It's either going to be a happiness multiplier or a misery multiplier. Okay, you get to choose, really. I feel like you have a very tender heart. I feel like right now with the Two of Cups, your emotion is your guiding compass. Okay, you're doing things for the right reasons. I do feel like there's some kind of a shift happening. Something's causing some upheaval in your life, something at home. And maybe that's like, maybe it's a move, maybe it's some kind of a repair that's being done, or it's like maybe it's like a sacred rearranging of something in your personal life, in your home life. Okay? Maybe what our Six of Pentacles is here. We're trying to arrange and harmonize. Maybe you're doing a little feng shui, in your home. I feel like you're trying to align the energies in the domestic sphere. Okay? And it may be something simple as you're moving, or you're rearranging stuff, or redecorating perhaps. Okay? Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set this down right over here with our little horse, Mr. Ed, right there on top. Now, we're not going to look at that horse, of course, until the very end. It will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card might be, well, put your prediction in the comments, okay? Let's see what you got. Let's look around the room here. We see just the one major arcana energy, and it is the devil. Your driving force. Now, I don't think the devil in this case is any kind of an evil force. Okay, I think that this is your fierce, to me feels like a very protective energy. It feels like you are motivated to fight. You are motivated to do whatever it takes here, that you are, maybe the way it feels here is that you're kind of, you're fighting alone, that you're striving for something and it's up to you, right? And it may feel like, you're out here in the world by yourself trying to do this, okay? Trying to either, repair something or arrange something or reharmonize something. Maybe trying to defend somebody or something in your life, okay? So this is the one motivating energy. That is your endurance. Okay, that is your, really it's your tenacity. Yeah. You have no fire right now. We've got water and water and water. Air and air and air. Earth and earth. Okay. There's no fire right now because I feel that, there is this kind of almost a fighting spirit that we have over here. I feel like it's more of an endurance, more like we are enduring something, okay? And I kind of wonder if there's something, you're being led by your heart, okay? That's what I know. I wonder if there's something going on in your life now where it's like you're putting yourself in front of somebody else to shield them from something, which means you're taking the brunt of it. You're not out there maybe like defending somebody or like actively, doing that. I feel like you're defending somebody by standing in front of them and you're taking the hit so that they don't have to. Does that make sense? And maybe it's your pets, your plants, your people. Yeah. Let me know if this is starting to resonate with you. A bigger picture is kind of emerging here. I think it really is your willingness, your character. It feels to me like you would step in front of anything for the people that you love. Okay? That you would take the hit, you would take the impact of something so that it doesn't have to affect your loved ones. Whether this is, a parent or a child or a pet, or, your significant other or your best friend or whatever it is, okay? I feel like you're willing to, and so it's kind of that, it's a receptive thing. It's not like you're out there, you're willing to do the hard work for the sake of your person. I think you are, but that's not what this is about. This is about you taking the hit, maybe taking the criticism. Maybe this is about you kind of Maybe like taking the blame for something, saying, no, it was me. I did it. You're okay to absorb that in order to protect somebody else. Because that's the kind of person you are. Okay? That's the kind of person you are. And I feel like that's a very noble thing to do. I feel like it's something that your heart is really guiding you to do. I feel like they don't want you to do it. Okay? But the Seven of Swords to me is that kind of criticism. That it's almost like, maybe there is some kind of an argument or some kind of words being exchanged, and you're saying, no, you talk to me. You direct your words to me. I can handle it. Because maybe you don't want your loved one to have to endure that. Okay, so there's this idea of suffering through something, enduring something. And maybe that's why we have our Nine of Swords. It's kind of like it's something that you're willing to endure. Really is showing your strength. Because you're willing to take that pain in order to save somebody else from having to go through that. Now, is that your place to do that? I don't know. And that's your call. It depends on who that person is. Okay? But this shows your character. Okay? And the Seven of Swords is showing that there is something that is some kind of negative vibrational energy that's coming in. Okay? And I think that you're in some ways like you're making yourself the what do they call that thing, the lightning rod on the top of a building, right? It's kind of like you're making yourself the lightning rod. So you can absorb that so that it doesn't hit somebody else. Okay? And that to me, there's not a lot of people that will do that. Okay? And maybe this isn't even for your best friend or your significant other. Maybe it's just for someone at work. Maybe it's for a stranger even. So kind of like you're putting yourself in harm's way for the sake of somebody else. Yeah. And so, because this is one person that's kind of standing tall and is attracting, making themselves kind of the target, and all these other swords are coming in. And it may be the criticism, it may be the blame. It may be just that kind of a defense. It's like, that you'd rather have all of that negative energy. I feel like it's words or opinions or some criticism, right? You'd rather have that directed at you than this other person, okay? And if I had to guess, I'd say maybe they're Capricorn, okay? Maybe. Now, hear me out. Capricorn is your opposite sign, right? Is your Cancer. Cancer and Capricorn are at opposite ends of the wheel of the zodiac. Kind of its top and bottom usually, right? So in a way, this is kind of about your goat nature, about this tough exterior that you can summon in order to protect that very sensitive, soft part of you. Okay? It's kind of like you're rolling over and you're showing your strong back to protect your soft underbelly. Now, that's just a theory. That may not be the case. But the fact that we have both the Cancer and the Capricorn power cards, it might be that you are summoning your real goat, your real lone mountain goat, your real devil I don't give a F attitude in order to protect your sensitive heart, your sensitive nature, this down here maybe. Because it feels like there is some negativity coming in. And so this might be that you're summoning that alter ego that can come out and deal with this so that you don't really get hurt by it. Okay? Maybe that makes more sense to you than you're actually defending somebody else, although I think you would. It could be that both of these things are going on. It could be that as you defend this other person, you've got to summon your Capricorn devil alter ego in order to deal with whatever's coming in. In this kind of a situation, I feel like suddenly you have these powers that you didn't know you were capable of. Okay? And you're not out there actively causing trouble or engaging with people. You're in a defensive position. Okay? This is protection and defense. It's not offense, okay? And I feel like this is what you're protecting, something that you love and that you cherish more than anything. You're protecting, life and limb here. And again, I don't think it's any kind of violent. I think it's words. I think it's criticism. Okay, I think it's other opinions, or it's almost like someone who will create a pseudonym or a persona or an alter ego for their public work. And that public part of you can take the hits, can take all the criticism, all the tabloid stuff, all the whatever, all the bad press. And it protects your private life. So I wonder if there's the split too. Maybe there's a public and a private. And in order for you to protect your private life, your real, family and what's really important to you, that sensitive, soft, gooey center of each of us, you kind of create this very hardcore, very I don't give a F attitude, exterior public persona. Okay, maybe. I think we all do that to some degree, don't we? But this is what you're protecting underneath the surface. Now, the Four of Swords here, this is Jupiter in Libra. So there's an expansion of your communication. You're disseminating your information out to the world in some way. So I feel like you kind of put yourself out there. Okay? I feel that, this kind of looks like a crosshairs, doesn't it? And we're not, I don't think anybody's blaming you. But I feel like you knew it was kind of par for the course. Because with this card, I feel like you're saying more to more people. You're expanding your network. You're expanding the reach of your YouTube videos. You are sending your book off to more and more publishers. You are distributing your song or your philosophy out to more and more people. You see what I mean? You are giving your gift out everywhere that you can. You're putting yourself out there. You're kind of like you're mass communicating. Yeah. And I think that you're becoming more and more known. Jupiter in Libra, making more connections, expanding your reach, turning up the wattage on your transmitter, your radio station, kind of sending out a stronger signal, connecting with more people. Well, what does that do? But it opens up the door for some of those people to criticize. Some of those people aren't going to like it. You stick with a really small group. Let's say you make a book of poetry. You just give it to your friends, your close friends, and they're all just so delighted. It's just wonderful. It's beautiful, right? But then you start sending it out over the internet to everybody you can, everywhere. Some of those people are going to be like, what is this crap? Okay? So it's kind of like you're preparing for that. You're ready for that blowback in some way. Yeah. And so that to me is the Four. It's kind of like we're making ourselves a larger target by sending our information, by communicating with more people, by expanding our reach and our influence. The more people see it, it's kind of like on YouTube. I publish these videos. Sometimes there's only a few thousand of you that watch. And 99.9% of you hit the like button, right? The more views I get, the more of you there are that hit the thumbs down button. You don't have to do that if you don't want to, but you can. I don't care. But that's it's directly proportionate, right? The more people see it, the more that approval rating is going to go down. It's just the nature of things, okay? And so that's kind of my example of the Four of Swords in this case. But you still have your Knight of Cups up here at the top. You are still sending out your authentic voice. You are still broadcasting, Cancer. You are still sending that gift out there to the world, knowing that there are going to be kind of personal criticisms and things that you will take personally and things that you want to protect. Let's say you are a public figure. You don't want any critics writing their blog and taking shots at your dog or something. It's like just if you have something negative to say it to me, not my family. That sort of thing. But you're still doing it. You're still sending out. You're still doing your art, your passion. You're still giving your gift to the world. It's not deterring you from doing that, you see. And so I feel like a lot of things are changing in your life. And it may be that, if this is your business, you're reaching more. Let's say your business is expanding. You're reaching more customers. More of those customers are going to be unhappy. Doesn't mean you're doing a bad job. As we have growth, right? As my videos reach 5, 10, 15, 20,000 people, that sort of the like to dislike ratio starts to get a little bit worse. It's still pretty good. I don't give out my exact numbers, but it goes down a little bit the more people see it. It's just the nature of life, okay? It's just the world. I don't know. There's probably some mathematical formula to it all. I don't know what that formula is. I'm bad at math. But you just keep doing it. You just keep spreading your creativity. You keep following your heart. You keep speaking your truth, living your truth, being genuine, being authentic. And giving your gumbo, giving your crab curry out to the world. We could use that. We could use anything as the example, but you understand what I mean, right? You're still going to do it. It's not going to make you stop doing it. No. Mm-mm. The Two of Cups is you kind of pursuing that heart, that love. Okay, you are being guided. It is your compass. That love is really what you feel, and I think that, in other words, you're connecting with the people that really need to connect with you. You're creating more love in the world, even though you may be experiencing more criticism. I feel like you are trying to protect your private or personal life, or someone specific, or protecting your own feelings from getting hurt. You don't want to let any of this criticism actually get you in the deepest part of your heart, right? So you're trying to develop that thicker skin that Cancer's, kind of known for, right? So the Two of Cups is you realizing that the people that need to hear your voice will hear it. Despite the noise, despite the opposition, despite anything that's trying to silence you or criticize you, the right people will connect with what you're doing. Okay. Now we're going to talk about the path of the serpent. Hit the like button if this is resonating with you. Hit the dislike button if you want to. It doesn't matter to me. Okay, but hit a button anyway. Hit the subscribe button. That's what I really want you to do. Every little bit helps, okay? And in some ways, even all press is good press, right? The Six of Pentacles is that harmony, trying to maintain the balance and the stability and the harmony of your life. This is your general energy. I feel like this is, in some ways, talking about the stuff in your personal life that you're trying to keep the balance. You're trying to maintain the harmony there. Because what does the Seven of Swords do but tries to disrupt your personal life? So this might be some paparazzi that are really trying to pry into your private business or something like that, right? And you're not having that, okay? So I feel like there are a lot of things happening at home. This is a sacred rearrangement. There may be a move. There may be some kind of home repairs. I feel like you're trying to kind of fortify your personal and private life. There's been a lot of effort there for you. Yeah. This is a card of success. Okay. This is a card of, even with the criticism, you still know that you're succeeding in your divine mission. Okay. And I think that is all the certainty that you need. Yeah. Now, in the environment, of course, you still have that devil energy, which I think is that alter ego part of you that's just out there, kind of it's a rugged goat. This is a really rugged goat. It can handle anything because it has this drive to create. So the goat has a very thick skin, a very thick coat of fur that can handle any kind of weather. Any kind of weather here. Okay. So this is that rugged part of you that is the sort of public face of something. Right? Again, kind of protecting the more sensitive Cancer side of things. Again, Cancer and Capricorn are the opposite signs there. And this could be also, your motivation to protect, if it is a specific person in your life that you're protecting. This is your motivation to do that. Okay, you're doing it because it is the right thing, because whatever the situation is, you would rather take the criticism than for somebody else to, because you care about that. Maybe this is happening at work. Maybe they made a mistake. You're going to take the blame for it. Is that right? Is that wrong? Should you let them take the blame? I don't know. This isn't about morality, right? This is about, what does your heart tell you? Your heart wants to protect this. Your heart wants to keep something safe and sacred, keep something intact, keep something harmonious and beautiful. And so you're willing to get in between it and whatever's coming in. Yeah. The 9 of Cups is the card of the happiness multiplier. Okay? It's Jupiter in Pisces. You want more of the good stuff. You want more of the love. You want this to continue to grow in the right direction. You want super abundance. You want to continue to pursue your happiness and follow your bliss. Okay. That's in a way, maybe this is what we're protecting. You're trying to protect your real, true happiness. And so you're trying to put yourself, maybe this should really be like this, right? But it's not, so we'll have to deal with it the way it was. But maybe this is it, that you would rather take all of these poison daggers and keep your happiness intact. To realize that this is par for the course, right? And so I think that there is a significance here with that. With the 9 of Cups in the position of the fear, worry, and concern, it's like, this is what we want to protect. You want to protect your sensitive heart. You want to protect your personal life, your private life. You want to protect your happiness, the pursuit of your happiness. Okay? So I feel like you're not going to do anything that's going to jeopardize the path that you're on, the path that is generating more and more abundance. Okay? So it could be that even with all this criticism here, all that negative energy coming in, you're not going to react in a negative way that's going to look bad for you, and that might jeopardize this. Don't do anything, right? Again, there's no fire. You're not doing anything. Other people are doing something. Okay? You're absorbing all those hits. But you're not reacting to them. I think that is a big thing. When you're getting criticized, when someone's, and maybe this reading is just as much for me as it is for you. I'm a Cancer too, by the way. Even though people are saying negative things or they're attacking you on the internet or something, you're not going to succumb to that and react to it, because that is probably not going to be very good for this path of abundance that you're on. It may jeopardize the success and the harmony and the beauty and the happiness that you're trying to generate. Okay? Your actions. Now, this is the generator. Okay? This is either happiness being generated or misery being generated. So, what are you going to generate? What are you going to create? This is the engine of the car. This is the generator. Are you going to generate more happiness or more misery? Through your actions, are you doing things that are going to increase your abundance, your health, your happiness, your wealth? Or are you doing things that are going to maybe, possibly, make things worse for yourself? So if somebody is criticizing you or attacking you on the internet, and then you let them have it back, well, that might look bad for you, and it might diminish your prosperity, your abundance. And maybe that's not fair, is it? No. So I think it's very important that you conduct yourself in a very compassionate way, in a very protective way. Don't be drawn out into any kind of a fight. Don't react to those people that are criticizing you, or the haters, or the naysayers, or whatever they are. Okay? Sometimes with a 9 of Swords, all we can do is bear it. Okay? All we can do is absorb those blows. That's a sign of strength. Okay? Because this is Mars in Gemini. This is the energy coming in that's trying to separate you from what you love. Maybe it's gossip. Maybe it's rumors, and maybe it's somebody instigating or trying to sow the seeds of discord between you and your family or in your business or whatever, right? Sometimes all you can do is absorb those poisonous daggers. And that's proving how strong you are. It'd be easy for somebody to sort of hit you with one of those swords and for you to hit right back, verbally or, on the internet. It really is a sign of strength for you to just take that blow and not react, and stay strong and stay compassionate, And I don't think that this is about you turning the other cheek or just kind of grinning and bearing it and taking it and letting them get away with it. But just to be very careful about how you do respond. Respond with love and compassion, okay? Because that's going to be better for your long-term trajectory anyway. Yeah. Let's look at the mystery card. Probably going to be some fire energy, maybe a 6 of Wands or even a 4, maybe a 4 of Pentacles. This isn't to say that you just have to sit there and be the victim and let these other people do this to you, okay? But you have to handle this situation in such a way that is going to be better for your main goals in life, okay? And sometimes maybe it is just taking it and ignoring it, not responding to it at all. The sticks and stones break your bones, but the words aren't going to hurt you. Well, I guess you have to be the judge of that. Maybe this is going to be the judge. Yeah, the Justice card. Let's see. It's a Page of Swords. A Page of Swords sometimes speaks before they think. Yeah. This is just thought, is impulse to behavior. Impulse to speech, okay? So this is like saying the words back to them in a way that is not thoughtful and careful. So at the very least, think before you speak so that you don't sink to their level, you don't kind of play their game, you don't go down and meet them on their plane, no. Okay, if you're going to respond at all, you do so with thoughtfulness. You do so with foresight. Yeah. You respond intentionally. You don't react. So no fire. No fire. And because I feel like you're going to learn the lesson if you do. If you let yourself if you run your mouth without thinking, you're going to regret it. Okay? Think about what it is that you're trying to preserve in your life right now. So I feel like you got some drama going on. Anyway, okay? We're going to do an extended reading as well. If you want to stick around, we'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There's a link in the corner here. There's a link in the video description here. New readings for Cancer Wednesdays and Sundays. Be sure to watch both readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you are watching from. I want you to know that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we are all in this together.